Let's talk about prose, what it is and whether it matters. In the past, I've talked about how one of the main criticisms Brandon Sanderson faces is that his prose is not as strong as some other fantasy writers. And in response to some of those videos, I've gotten a fair number of comments asking what even is prose? That's a fair question. So first of all, prose just refers to a style of writing as distinct from poetry. If it's not poetry, it's most likely almost definitely prose. All nonfiction and modern fiction is really written in prose. But what it means more colloquially, especially when we're talking about criticism that authors often face, is the style of their writing. What kind of language they use, what kind of sentence structures they use, what kind of vocabulary they use, what literary devices they use. If you're still confused by what prose actually refers to, I think it's best explained by comparison. Take a look at this passage from the first chapter of Trust of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. This passage from one of the earliest chapters of The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. And this passage from one of the earliest chapters of The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. All three of these writers have very distinct writing styles, and I hope from those three passages that's kind of evident. Brandon Sanderson's style is very simple and focused on just conveying the information in as easy and accessible a way as possible. Joe Abercrombie plays with repetition to convey more humor through his writing, and Scott Lynch uses more metaphors, similes, and imagery to create more beautiful sentences, if you will. The author's prose, I think, ultimately can have a significant impact on the reading experience for their books, and for some people that's very important. Personally, while I definitely appreciate good prose, it's not necessary for me at all. Maybe as is evident by my other videos and my bookshelves behind me, I don't mind Brandon Sanderson's simple prose at all, because his strength, in my opinion, comes from his magic system, characters, and plots. I can understand that for some people, maybe a simple prose is a turnoff and they want a more beautiful reading experience. I think that just comes down to what you enjoy. And I do think the people that insist that prose is the end-all be-all of writing are a little silly, but again, that is a personal subjective opinion. Now drop a follow and go subscribe on YouTube or else.